Right, good evening to you. This is a special Hurricane Irene update. The time is now 6:35 p.m. here in Scotland, and we've seen the system now become a Category 3, and it is now impacting the southeastern portion of the Bahamas, and it's become a major problem and continues to strengthen as pressures drop, wind speeds increase. Over the past few hours, folks, has certainly been holding at around 115 mph sustained winds within the eye wall. The eye wall certainly looking much more impressive, as you can see here. This is a NASA image. This is the latest image from NASA. You can see here a lot more symmetric in shape. The eye bang slap in the middle of the system, very distinct. It was looking for a couple of hours there, a bit ragged. But you can see here that the inner core of this system now is becoming stunning looking on satellite imagery, and all indications, you can hear see the spiral bands. But folks, certainly here, right to the eye wall, it's a solid mass of powerhouse convection. And I'm going to show you this image here, actually off the NOAA site, and I'm going to pick out in particular, this is actually an improvement in terms of satellite presentation to a couple of hours ago that I've seen. But what I'm noticing is there's no raggedness with the eye anymore, and you can also see this donut, and that's a hot tar that's unbroken surrounding the eye wall, and that's a very, very powerful looking hurricane symbol there. You can see here, like I said, the symmetry of the system really does indicate that this system is not one to be reckoned with by any means. Anywhere from the Bahamas at the moment, the southern half of the Bahamas will certainly be feeling the effects of this system in a very big way at the moment. And my concern has been all along that this system is going to continue to intensify over the Bahamas. A system that is impacting a region but is intensifying at the same time can be a very, very big problem. A lot more devastation can be caused by these things as well, as opposed to a system that maintains a uniform strength. This is AccuWeather's projection, the latest projection you can see here, and it's pretty much in agreement with all the other sources like the Weather Channel. A Cat 3 at the moment, as you can see here, and it continues for the next roughly the next 24 to 36 hours in a west-northwest track, and it is really crucial, folks, at this time as to when that bend, that northwest to north turn occurs, because the reason being is if it continues tracking that wee bit farther westward, it then will probably slam the mid-North Carolina coast. If it treks and bends a wee bit sooner, it may actually clip the Outer Banks, or the eye wall itself may stay slightly offshore. But that is irrelevant. If you've got an eye wall, a Category 3 hurricane, and it's only basically maybe 20 to 50 miles away from your coast, you're still going to get slammed by a major hurricane. It's irrelevant almost how close it is, whether you get the actual landfall or not. The concern is that the soils up and down from DC to New York City saturated. We've seen tremendous amounts of rain. We've seen Philadelphia just below an all-time record for any month, never mind the month of August. The concern is if you've got a Cat 1, even Cat 2 hurricane that's riding from off the Virginia Capes up the Jersey Shore, perhaps 20-30 miles offshore, that is going to produce 80 to 100 mile-an-hour winds on shore. We're going to see tremendous, probably millions of dollars worth of damage, folks, on the mid-Atlantic and northeast coast. So the Jersey Shore, the Long Island shore, could see a hurricane of Cat 1, even Cat 2 strength by this weekend, unfortunately. But the concern is that the trees, the root system is saturated, so therefore you get strong winds. Even strong gale force winds, folks, would bring down trees a lot easier, and the concern is a Category 1 or Category 2 Hurricane Irene is going to cause major problems up and down the eastern seaboard. Now the concern for me is that as the system takes that bend, enters the central region of the Bahamas, it's going to interact with the Gulf Stream, and that could add extra and added fuel to this system, so it could maintain a Category 4 strength to certainly pretty close to the North Carolina coast. The systems normally, once they're approaching the Carolina coast, tend to ingest some dry continental air that comes off the US and ingested into the system can weaken it somewhat. But the consensus certainly is that a Category 3 major hurricane is going to make landfall. It's going to clip the North Carolina coast, producing in excess of 110 to 120 mile an hour winds, I believe. And the concern for me is that the Gulf Stream temperatures in the Western Atlantic offshore are 1 to 2 degrees above normal. So that you've also got that added energy as well. There is a little bit of wind shear actually impacting the system at the moment, folks. And it doesn't appear to be really doing anything to that at all. But as time progresses over the next 24 to 36 hours, there's signs that the wind shear that's released from the trough that we're seeing over the southeast, that trough that's making that going to make